In the ancient world, power was usually defined by conquest. Kings were remembered for how much land they controlled, how strong their armies were, and how many enemies they defeated. Expansion and dominance were seen as the ultimate achievements of a ruler. However, not every ruler followed the same path. One of the most notable exceptions was Ashoka, a leader whose legacy is not defined by the wars he won, but by the decision he made after experiencing one of the most devastating conflicts of his time. Ashoka was born into the Mauryan Empire, one of the largest political entities in ancient India. The empire had already been established as a powerful state through military strength and centralized governance. From an early age, Ashoka was trained in administration, strategy, and warfare. Like many princes of his time, he was expected to prove his capability in both governance and battle. Historical sources suggest that he was a determined and ambitious individual, willing to take decisive action when necessary. His rise to the throne was not entirely peaceful. Like many royal successions in the ancient world, it involved internal conflict and competition. After consolidating power, Ashoka became the ruler of a vast and influential empire. Despite the size of the Mauryan Empire, there were still regions outside its control. One of the most significant was Kalinga, a prosperous and strategically located territory along the eastern coast of India. Kalinga controlled important trade routes and maintained a degree of independence that made it both economically and politically important. For Ashoka, bringing Kalinga under Mauryan control was a logical step in strengthening the empire. This decision ultimately led to a major military campaign. The conflict known as the Kalinga War was one of the most significant events of Ashoka's reign. The Mauryan army was large, organized, and experienced. However, the people of Kalinga resisted strongly. The war was intense and resulted in heavy casualties on both sides. Historical inscriptions, particularly Ashoka's own edicts, provide insight into the scale of the destruction. It is estimated that over 100,000 people were killed. Many more were injured and a large number were displaced. Following the war, Ashoka personally observed the consequences of the conflict. Instead of viewing the outcome solely as a strategic success, he confronted the reality of the destruction. He witnessed the loss of life, the suffering of survivors, and the long-term impact on communities. This direct exposure to the aftermath appears to have had a profound effect on him. According to his inscriptions, Ashoka expressed deep regret for the suffering caused by the war. This reaction was unusual for a ruler in the ancient world, where victory was typically celebrated without reflection on its human cost. The experience of the Kalinga War marked a turning point in Ashoka's life. He began to reconsider the role of violence in governance and the true meaning of leadership. Rather than continuing a policy of expansion through military force, Ashoka adopted a different approach. He emphasized ethical governance, social responsibility, and the welfare of his subjects. This shift was not immediate or superficial. It represented a fundamental change in how he viewed power and authority. After the war, Ashoka became closely associated with the teachings of Buddhism. While the exact timeline of his conversion is debated, it is clear that Buddhist principles influenced his policies and personal conduct. These principles included nonviolence, compassion, and respect for all living beings. Ashoka did not impose a single religion across his empire. Instead, he promoted tolerance and encouraged moral behavior across different communities. Ashoka implemented a number of reforms aimed at improving the quality of life within his empire. These included 1. The construction of infrastructure such as roads and rest houses. 2. The establishment of medical facilities for both humans and animals. 3. The promotion of ethical behavior through public messages. 4. The appointment of officials responsible for overseeing moral and social welfare. One of the most distinctive aspects of his rule was the use of inscriptions, often referred to as edicts. These were carved on pillars and rocks across the empire and communicated his policies and values directly to the public. Unlike traditional royal inscriptions that focused on military achievements, Ashoka's edicts emphasized responsibility, compassion, and ethical conduct. Central to Ashoka's governance was the concept of Dhamma. This was not limited to religious doctrine, but referred more broadly to a code of conduct for society. Dhamma encouraged 1. Respect for others. 2. Compassion toward all living beings. 3. Honesty and integrity. 4. Moderation in behavior. Ashoka viewed Dhamma as a practical framework for maintaining harmony within a diverse and expansive empire. Ashoka's transformation had lasting effects beyond his own reign. His support for Buddhism contributed to its spread beyond India, influencing regions across Asia. More broadly, his model of leadership, focused on ethics rather than conquest, provided an alternative vision of governance in the ancient world. Although the Mauryan Empire eventually declined, Ashoka's legacy continued to be recognized in historical and cultural contexts.